do. Yeah. Well, have you? You know, this is after the full restoration, of course, of this engine, as you can see. The barnacles have been stuck back on to make it look more of a genuine thing, because when it came up, it was so brand new, it was totally fictitious. So we decided to stick the barnacles on. Now this has been a major revolutionary sort of step, because the manufacture of barnacles is in fact one of the most complicated and difficult items. But however, Panasonic have in fact managed to develop a transistorized one made out of silicon chips.
Transistorized barnacles.
Right, Mike, do you want it serious now? It's the old CENTURAS engine. Are you ready, running? Right. Anyway, yeah, well this is the interesting part. When it came up, with this impact, and that there was actually bent to hold the spline like this. So you can see there, that's where it's set on the spline there, slipped straight on there, this spline edge. You can see the impact was from here, right on this bit there. And of course we had the impact on the boss as well, because it obviously had to get something very, very solid. Nothing could have, you know, wouldn't have caused an impact. Plus of course the tank shuts through. So what we've got now is the only way we can, we've disconnected it, we've unscrewed that, because that goes in and actually sort of goes onto a large nut. You know, well, you know the end of the spline, remember the big phosphor bronze nut?
Oh yeah.
Well that hasn't got that, so it's got that instead. And that goes on, and just it's about that wide. That's a rotary boss, yeah. And it goes in, and what we've done is unscrewed that, and all that now holds this thing on is that spline. But because it's bent,
can't get it out.
So what we've done is we've got a 30 ton jack puller, which is we're going to have pull this thing right off, because the main problem with this, as it is now, obviously you see you can't really move it.
If you look at it, you can actually see where wires have bit into it, can't you?
Yes, that's right. Whether in fact that was through the trawlers, you know, afterwards, I don't know. What do you reckon? Could be. Isn't it?
Well, I tend to think it was an arrestor wire.
It could have been an arrestor wire. Yes,
the safety net across.
Yes, it's quite fantastic, really. That you know, when you think of the condition of this, and say it's all been desalinated now and pressure washed, obviously. And technically speaking, it's just ready now for shot blasting. But as I was saying to you before, the idea now is that because it's so big, once the items have been cleared from under the tarpaulin, we'll make a little sort of plinth and just put it up on the top and everything. Yeah. That's Liberator.
Oh, from the Liberator side.
From the Liberator side in Oldham, yeah. But it's a marvellous engine, and when you say weighing in at, well, when we came up, 1 3/4 tons, it was the heaviest single item. We've always dreaded it, haven't we?
Is that what it was, 1 3/4 tons?
When it came up, all the bearer bars, we dismantled a vast amount. I don't know if you remember it when you first came up at Brixham.
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, do you remember the big, massive great engine bearer? Do you remember the big, massive great engine bearer that was lying at the back? Because it was in fact upside, it was actually lying on the bearers.
I've got some slides of it actually.
Yeah, because it was actually lying on the bearer bars. Don't you remember? With the blades upright?
That's right, yeah, because that's what it's now all pull out the way I was pulling it
that's
around.
right. Well, it's, you know, but I mean, it's we've dismantled all that, that's all in water, but I was saying to Mike before, well, I don't know where Mike's got to, you know, but we've got this 300-gallon water tank we had to get very quickly to put all the bearer bars in. It's a colossal thing. I mean, it doesn't look much now, but I mean, you see where the bolts are, the bearer bars, the width of that. Colossal thing.
You're going to take the boss propeller run off, are you?
Yes, yes. Because we can't move it otherwise, unless we get a crane in. We can't get it through the gap here. And if you moves there. She's busted there. So we've got this puller which is coming down from Bridgewater in the next couple of weeks, and it's got a spreader which goes all the way across here, which will take the weight so it won't collapse it hopefully. And then we'll go there and we'll try. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, well, I don't know exactly how we're going to get back to dry. And the main thing is once it's rolled over, we can then put it onto a pallet truck and whip it up here and put it there. But it's such a lovely item, but it needs to be done quickly because we've got to get this boat part into operation. And because we've designed it already, and the post we'll put in for the timber. We've got all the timber, as you can see, and so we can get the old boats. And you know, remember we had a makeshift framework. Well, this was going to be a permanent one with a big tarpaulin for it. So it means any time we want a boat, and this is why we took that tree down.
Oh, yeah, I thought there was something missing.
That's right. So we could then whip the boat straight out, and straight out here, and then you know, once it out there. Come and have a look at this blade. This one came up at Exmouth, and as you can see, as you know, you can see it's German. But we've, yes, well, not location, but identification. We've actually got it to 109, yeah, and as you can see, it's got bullet holes, yeah. There's a nick here, which is definitely bullet here. See that nick here, and those there, of course. They're almost like corrosion holes, but as you can see, they're not. You can see that. See that? Feel that serrated edge that proves the metal's been pushed out. And but I think, as you say, the only way of doing this is actually taking. And those, of course. Yeah, yes, that's right.
Shot from behind then.
Shot side. This is the one that we handed to books into.
Tim wants to do anything, chip all this out.
Well, yes, that's right. Yes. So he's quite keen on doing this.
That ring will come off.
Busted off. Yeah, this is presumably we think it's possibly from a Halifax.
This should, on the right, get this off. This colour will come straight off. And just leave the blades on the spine.
On the horns, yeah, and everything. So, so you don't think they need to unscrew that? I couldn't remember. I thought you had to unscrew it. I swore you had to unscrew that.
I think we did, yeah.
So how are we going to get in there? Well, it's possible.
If I remember right, we used a big box spanner.
Yes. I remember you had a box spanner somewhere. I can't remember. No, we think this is from the old Halifax again.
If Tim wants to do something, tell him to start chipping on this.
Well, you know the other two blades that we recovered, where it came up, which was almost 90% from that Halifax. Would you believe that we've got in correspondence with the navigator? So that four. Some bloody brand new Granada backed straight into the bloody blade tip. He smashed all his lights up. And he was going to sue us and do this. It was his fault, but we thought, well, rather than sort of cause a lot of havoc, and we sort of said, all right, we'll pay for it. And he came up with this vast cost and everything. So we said, well, I tell you what, we'll ring up whoever. Anyway, so some firm or something that does maintenance, car spares, and we just rang them up, and we got a trade rate. And he said, well, this, if you go up to this place, it'll cost you 35 quid, so we gave him 35 quid, but it was the most expensive prop, bit of a nuisance, but that's dismantled. The engine was on the back of it.